Okay, I'm going to try to make this brief, but if you do need additional help, again, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Um, I'm going to go back to the main LibGuide for Health 3020. So I wanted to start at the library website to go back how you get to that. Click View Research Guides, and then Health 3020 right here. Okay, so in the evidence-based intervention tab, like I showed you in the first video, if you scroll down here, there are these different free online resources. So you should be able to use these links. They should work for you fine. But I do want to show you what they look like when you Google them, because you can do that too for these, because these are not databases. Any of the library databases that we have, please don't Google. I'm going to show you the community guide and Healthy People 2020 because I think that'll relate to most of your topics. Just other ones that I wanted to point out one more time while we're here. Our tips right here is good for anything related to cancer. So search here if that's your topic. SAMHSA is good for substance abuse and mental health related topics. And then Debbie is going to have HIV related interventions. So if those relate to your topics, pause and use that resource. If not, disregard. But that's where all this stuff lives as a quick reminder. I'm going to Google just to show you what this should look like. But the community guide, just make sure you click on the right one here. It should be this first one, .org. This is what it looks like. You do search it differently than the other databases. It's a collection of evidence-based findings and recommendations for community preventative services task force, independent, unpaid group of experts appointed by the CDC. So instead of typing in a bunch of different keywords here, you're going to search by broad topic and then kind of filter down from there. So it is a little bit of a different process. So if I'm going to search in the community guide using my practice of breast cancer with African Americans, you can hover over topics here and pick what's most closely related to your topic and start that way. That's an option. So I'm going to pick cancer. And as you scroll down, it's going to give you all these different interventions related to cancer. You can click, if you only want to look at recommended or strong evidence interventions, you could filter that way, depending how many options you have and what your topic is. Or conversely, if you want to look at insufficient evidence and maybe what's not recommended, those are also options. I'm going to click on one here to show you what it should look like. Visually, it's set up differently than the other resources, but I kind of like it. It gives you all these different bits of information to the left here. And if you click on the different tabs and click on read more, it'll give you details about this specific intervention and findings, promotional materials. So if you click on the read more here, it'll give you all that additional stuff. Or you can tab over like that. So search for any of these here. You can see a finding and rationale statement. And there's going to be a PDF option too. That'll go over all these related components to this particular intervention. Let me go back and show you. We could also type breast cancer in this bar here. And it does do a little bit of predictive text Again, I would probably start simple related to your topic instead of adding a whole bunch of different keywords because it does work slightly differently. Um, and here you can filter a little bit as applicable. So maybe we only want to look at recommended evidence. Maybe we're only looking at women as our population or older adults, just whatever population is what you're looking for. You're welcome to use these filters here. It does give you the little synopsis on the left here. This is systematic review recommended, when it was completed. You can filter by just using this tab if you only want to look at systematic reviews. Let me click on another one. So it'll get you to the same kind of information, but just in a slightly different way, just depending what your topic is. Okay, so that was super brief overview of using the community guide. Just make sure to look at the actual intervention. So the finding and rationale statement is going to give you additional information and details. Okay, I'm going to switch gears really quickly and go to Healthy People 2020. So if you were having trouble finding your topic in the community guide, you may not find it here. Healthy People 2020 is going to be based on national objectives. So you may or may not have your topic in this one. But the way you want to search this one is if you hover on Tools and Resources, Evidence-Based Resources. So this is similar to the community guide where you're going to narrow down your results based on your topic. So it's working kind of backwards from building a search in PubMed, for example. So I'm going to click on this little button here. If I'm going by my same search that I was doing before, I might pick cancer. If other of these filters apply, I would say check more than one. It just depends on what your topic is. I'm just going to do cancer to start off with. Okay. So I like how it visually kind of presents itself before you even click on anything. To the left here, it'll give you a strength of evidence rating and what that means here. Let me click on that. It'll tell you. So 4 out of 4 is these resources are based on rigorous evidence. And it'll tell you what type of resource that might mean. It'll give you the year and it'll tell you it's a systematic review. If you forget what that means, click on that and it'll give you a little definition. So really, I like how that's organized. To get to the actual intervention though, you're gonna have to click on the title and then click on view full resource. So similar to other things, it's going to give you a little description. You may decide at this point, this is not what I'm looking for. Go back to your search and try again. Or if not, click on view full resource. You're going to have to click a couple times. That's normal for this website. And then this is the content that you'll get to here. So it'll give you all these different supporting documents. I would say if there's a PDF option for any of this, click on that. But that's the basics really quick searching in Healthy People 2020. And to just go back really quickly, if you click on the topics and objectives here, that'll give you another way to kind of filter down with these broader topics. So I'll pick cancer again, and it'll take you, if you click on interventions and resources, you then have the option to click on evidence-based resources. So that's just another way to get to what I just showed you. Okay, and then similar functions here. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so this should look similar to what I just showed you. Okay. So I know that was super brief, and I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you're able to search related to your topic. And if you do have those issues, please let me know, and I'm happy to assist you as soon as I can. I also wanted to just make sure that you're citing everything using APA standards. For anybody that's not sure what to do for that, from the library Health 3020 page, sorry. We do have an APA tab, but I'll just tell you, go to Purdue Owl, APA. That's going to give you the best, most up-to-date advice. For anybody who doesn't use this regularly, or it can be a little bit confusing, but I would say ignore all of this automatic citation stuff in the top, but the content is up to date and correct, and that's what you should follow. You're going to pay attention to what you have selected over here on the left. There's no way that you're just going to memorize all of the different situations in which APA citations differ a little bit. And if you are using a database that has automatic citations that it generates for you, that's great, but you should still check it against what Purdue Owl says, because sometimes they're correct and sometimes they're almost correct, but the spacing is a little bit off, or there's a comma somewhere that it shouldn't be. Or sometimes they're completely wrong with the automatic citation generators. So it's better practice to just check against Purdue Owl. If you have additional questions related to that, either ask me or contact the Writing Center. They're doing online consultation appointments as well. So those are all free resources that you can utilize even virtually. So hopefully this was a good brief overview, and please let me know if I can help you with anything else.